Get ready for 40 of the hardest questions you might see on your Delaware written test. Think you can pass them all? If you need more help, you can get interactive practice tests and downloadable cheat sheets at the links below. Now let's get started.
Question 1. Delaware transferred all misdemeanor DUI cases to A. Family Court, B. Municipal Courts, C. District Courts, D. The Court of Common Pleas. The correct answer is D. The Court of Common Pleas. Delaware transferred all misdemeanor DUI cases to the Court of Common Pleas, a significant procedural change in how DUI cases are handled. This centralized approach aims to improve efficiency and consistency in DUI case processing across Delaware's small but dense state court system. Question 2. Delaware's DUI second offense within 5 years, mandatory minimum jail is A. 10 days, B. No mandatory minimum, C. 60 days, D. 30 days. The correct answer is C. 60 days. Delaware's second DUI conviction within 5 years carries a mandatory minimum of 60 days in jail up to 18 months. Fines increase substantially. License revocation extends to 24 months. Delaware's strict second offense penalties reflect the state's aggressive approach to repeat DUI enforcement. Question 3. What should you do if steam comes from under your hood while driving? A. Add coolant immediately while the engine is running. B. Open the hood immediately to vent the steam. C. Pull over safely, turn off the engine, and call for assistance. Do not open the hood. D. Drive carefully to the nearest service station. The correct answer is C. Pull over safely, turn off the engine, and call for assistance. Do not open the hood. Steam from under the hood indicates engine overheating. Pull over safely, turn off the engine, and wait for it to cool, at least 30 minutes. Never open the radiator cap on a hot engine. The pressurized coolant can spray and cause severe burns. Never add cold water to a hot engine. Call for roadside assistance. Question 4. You are eating a burger while driving. A child suddenly runs into the road ahead, compared to having both hands free. A. Your reaction time is slightly slower, about 0.2 seconds. B. Your reaction time and vehicle control are significantly impaired by the distraction. C. Eating while driving is only dangerous if you spill. D. Your reaction time is the same. One hand is still in the wheel. The correct answer is B. Your reaction time and vehicle control are significantly impaired by the distraction. Eating while driving combines manual distraction, one hand off the wheel, and cognitive distraction, attention on the food. Research shows eating while driving can impair reaction time by up to 44% compared to focused driving. In emergencies, this difference can determine whether you stop in time. Question 5. You arrive at a 4-way stop at the same time as 3 other vehicles. What is the correct order? A. The vehicle on the right of each pair goes first, creating a clockwise order. B. Whoever arrived from the main road goes first. C. Vehicles going straight go before vehicles turning. D. All 4 proceed simultaneously since no one has clear priority. The correct answer is A. The vehicle on the right of each pair goes first, creating a clockwise order. At a 4-way stop, when multiple vehicles arrive, simultaneously yield to the vehicle on your right. This creates a clockwise order of travel around the intersection. Be patient and communicate with eye contact or gestures when the situation is ambiguous. Safety and courtesy take priority over strict right-of-way rules. Question 6. The EMVA manual identifies vision as the most important sense used in driving. Why does alcohol affect driving so early? A. Because alcohol first affects the legs, making pedal control less accurate. B. Because alcohol blurs vision slows. Focusing causes double vision and reduces ability to judge. C. Because alcohol primarily affects hearing, making it hard to respond to horns and sirens. D. Because alcohol affects balance first, which is needed to maintain a straight line of travel. The correct answer is B. Because alcohol blurs vision slows. Focusing causes double vision and reduces ability to judge. The AMVA manual states alcohol blurs vision, slows the ability to focus, causes double vision, and reduces the ability to judge distance, speed, and the movement of other vehicles. And this begins at just 0.02 BAC. Since vision is the most important driving sense, this early impairment is especially dangerous. Question 7. A sign reading wrong way while you are driving means: A. You have entered a road traveling against the flow of traffic. Stop and reverse out. B. The road changes direction ahead. Follow the arrows. C. A one-way street begins. Stay right. D. A vehicle ahead is traveling in the wrong direction. The correct answer is A. You have entered a road traveling against the flow of traffic. Stop and reverse out. A wrong way sign means you are traveling in the wrong direction on the road. Stop immediately, turn on hazard lights, and reverse carefully back to the correct entry point. Continuing in the wrong direction creates an extreme head-on collision risk. This situation most often occurs on divided highway exit ramps. Question 8. Is it true that you only need to signal when other vehicles are present? A. False. You must signal before every turn or lane change, regardless of traffic. B. True, but only on highways, not surface streets. C. False, but only when cyclists or pedestrians are nearby. D. True, signals only matter if others can see them. The correct answer is A. False. You must signal before every turn or lane change, regardless of traffic. You must signal before every turn or lane change, regardless of whether you can see other vehicles. Cyclists and pedestrians may be in locations not visible in your mirrors. The habit of always signaling also reinforces consistent, safe behavior, so you never forget when it truly matters. Question 9. What is the meaning of a solid yellow center line combined with a broken yellow line? A. Both directions may pass when clear. B. Neither direction may pass. C. The side with the solid line may not pass. The broken line side may pass when safe. D. The center lane is a turn lane only. The correct answer is C. The side with the solid line may not pass. The broken line side may pass when safe. When a solid yellow and broken yellow line are painted together, the solid line side may not cross to pass, while the broken line side may pass when safe. The rules always apply to the line on your side of the road. Solid means no passing. Broken means passing permitted when safe. Question 10. What does it mean when a vehicle pulls to one side during braking? A. A brake component on one side may be worn stuck or unequal, requires immediate inspection. B. The road surface is uneven, no action needed. C. Your tires are unevenly inflated, add air to the side pulling away. D. This is normal in vehicles with front-wheel drive. The correct answer is A. A brake component on one side may be worn stuck or unequal, requires immediate inspection. A vehicle that pulls to one side during braking indicates unequal braking force. Likely a stuck caliper-worn brake pads or brake fluid issues on one side. This reduces stopping effectiveness and can cause loss of control in emergency braking. Have the brakes inspected before driving further. Question 11. If you are traveling at the speed limit and conditions suddenly become dangerous, can you be cited? A. No. Traveling at the posted speed limit is always legal. B. Yes. The basic speed law requires adjusting speed to conditions regardless of the posted limit. C. Only if you cause a crash. D. Only in school zones and construction zones. The correct answer is B. Yes, the basic speed law requires adjusting speed to conditions regardless of the posted limit. The basic speed law in all states requires driving at a speed safe for actual conditions: weather, visibility, road surface, and traffic, regardless of the posted speed limit. Traveling at 55 miles per hour in a blizzard when visibility is 50 feet is potentially citable, even if the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. Question 12. Is it legal to eat, drink, or adjust the radio while driving? A. Yes. Only cell phones are prohibited. B. No. All non-driving activities are illegal. C. Yes. These activities are legal but can be cited as part of a distracted driving violation if. D. Yes, but only for experienced drivers. The correct answer is C. Yes. These activities are legal but can be cited as part of a distracted driving violation if eating, drinking, and adjusting the radio are generally not explicitly illegal but can be cited as contributing factors to a distracted driving charge if they cause a crash or traffic violation. Any activity that takes your attention from the road increases crash risk significantly. Question 13. If a tire blows out while driving, you should A. Swerve to the shoulder immediately. B. Shift to a lower gear to slow down quickly. C. Brake hard immediately to stop before losing control. D. Grip the steering wheel firmly, ease off the gas, and steer straight. The correct answer is D. Grip the steering wheel, firmly ease off the gas, and steer straight. In a blowout grip, the steering wheel, firmly to maintain direction, ease off the accelerator gradually, and steer smoothly to the shoulder. Do not brake hard. This can cause the vehicle to spin. Once the vehicle slows to a safe speed, apply the brakes gently and pull off the road. Question 14. What does a hill blocks view sign indicate? A. A steep uphill grade begins ahead. B. The crest of a hill ahead blocks the view of oncoming traffic and the road ahead. C. A scenic viewpoint is at the top of the hill. D. Trucks must reduce speed on the upcoming hill. The correct answer is B. The crest of a hill ahead blocks the view of oncoming traffic and the road ahead. A hill blocks view sign warns that the crest of an upcoming hill creates a blind spot where you cannot see oncoming traffic or hazards on the other side. Do not attempt to pass near this crest. Stay in your lane and reduce speed so you can stop within half the visible road distance. Question 15. Can you be cited for speeding if no other vehicles are on the road? A. No. Enforcement requires a witnessed violation with traffic present. B. Only if road conditions make the speed dangerous. C. No. Speed limits exist only to protect other road users. D. Yes. Speed limits apply regardless of traffic conditions. The correct answer is D. Yes. Speed limits apply regardless of traffic conditions. Speed limits apply regardless of whether other vehicles are present. A police officer can and will cite a driver for speeding on an empty road. Speed limits exist to protect all road users, including pedestrians, cyclists, and people near the road, not just other vehicles. The limit applies at all times. Question 16. At highway speeds of 60 miles per hour, your stopping distance, including reaction time, is approximately A. 400 feet. B. 100 feet. C. 200 feet. D. 300 feet. The correct answer is D. 300 feet. At 60 miles per hour, total stopping distance, including reaction time and braking distance, is approximately 300 feet. About the length of a football field. This demonstrates why maintaining adequate following distance at highway speeds is critical to preventing rear-end crashes. Question 17. What is the best strategy for driving on an unfamiliar road at night? A. Follow another vehicle closely to benefit from their headlights. B. Use high beams at all times to maximize visibility. C. Drive at the speed limit since roads are designed for that speed. D. Reduce speed so you can stop within your headlight range. The correct answer is D. Reduce speed so you can stop within your headlight range. On unfamiliar dark roads, drive at a speed that allows you to stop within the distance illuminated by your headlights. Unknown curves, sudden obstacles, and unmarked hazards can appear without warning. Overriding your headlights, driving faster than you can stop within their range, is a major cause of night crashes. Question 18. When is it legal to make a left turn on red? A. Never. Red lights prohibit all turns. B. When turning from a one-way street onto a one-way street in most states. C. Whenever no traffic is present. D. Only in states where the law specifically permits it with no sign required. The correct answer is B. When turning from a one-way street onto a one-way street in most states. In most states, you may turn left on red when turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street after stopping and yielding to all traffic. Turning left on red from a two-way street is illegal in most states. Always check for no turn on red signs and know your state's specific rules. Question 19. What does it mean to be overdriving your headlights at night? A. Traveling faster than you can stop within the distance your headlights illuminate. B. Driving with your bright lights aimed too high. C. Having headlights that are brighter than legal standards allow. D. Using high beams when low beams are required. The correct answer is A. Traveling faster than you can stop within the distance your headlights illuminate. Overdriving your headlights means traveling at a speed where you cannot stop within the distance your headlights illuminate. If your low beams light up 200 feet ahead and your stopping distance at your speed is 300 feet, you cannot stop for an obstacle you see in time. Reduce speed so stopping distance matches sight distance. Question 20. Your brakes feel spongy and the pedal goes almost to the floor. What should you do? A. Add brake fluid at the next stop and monitor the situation. B. Use only the parking brake for the rest of your trip. C. Pump the brakes rapidly to build pressure and drive carefully to a shop. D. Stop driving immediately. Spongy brakes indicate a serious brake system failure. The correct answer is D. Stop driving immediately. Spongy brakes indicate a serious brake system failure. A spongy brake pedal that goes near the floor indicates air in the brake line's low fluid or brake system failure, all of which severely compromise stopping ability. Do not drive the vehicle further. Have it inspected and repaired before driving. This is one of the most serious vehicle safety defects. Question 21. What is the safest BAC for driving? A. Below 0.08%, the legal limit. B. Below 0.05%, international standard. C. Below 0.02%, near zero.
D. 0.00%. Any alcohol increases crash risk. The correct answer is D. 0.00%. Any alcohol increases crash risk. No amount of alcohol is completely safe for driving. Crash risk begins increasing with the very first drink. While the legal limit is 0.08%, impairment begins at lower levels. The safest BAC for driving is 0.00%, not drinking at all before driving. Question 22. Alcohol affects judgment before it affects physical coordination because A. Alcohol affects judgment only after BAC exceeds 0.05%. B. Physical coordination is controlled by a different part of the brain that alcohol affects last. C. The frontal lobe, which controls judgment and decision-making, is among the first brain areas. D. Physical coordination requires more alcohol to impair than cognitive functions. The correct answer is C. The frontal lobe, which controls judgment and decision-making, is among the first brain areas. The frontal lobe, responsible for judgment, decision-making, and inhibition, is one of the first brain areas impaired by alcohol. This is why impaired drivers often feel capable of driving safely when they are not. Physical coordination deteriorates later, making judgment impairment the more insidious danger. Question 23. What is the administrative license suspension under implied consent law? A. A fine paid instead of a license suspension for refusing a test. B. Automatic suspension of your license by the DMV when you refuse a chemical test or test above. C. A judge-ordered suspension only issued after a DUI conviction. D. A 24-hour license hold after any traffic stop involving alcohol. The correct answer is B. Automatic suspension of your license by the DMV when you refuse a chemical test or test above. Administrative license suspension is a civil penalty imposed by the DMV, separate from any criminal DUI case. It occurs automatically when you refuse a chemical test or test above the legal limit. You can lose your license through this process, even if you are not convicted of DUI in criminal court. Question 24. A sign says 55 miles per hour, and then 500 feet later, another sign says reduced speed ahead, 35 miles per hour. When must you be at 35 miles per hour? A. When you reach the 35 miles per hour sign. B. 500 feet after the reduced speed sign. C. Immediately after the reduced speed sign. D. Before passing the first sign that said 55 miles per hour. The correct answer is A. When you reach the 35 miles per hour sign. The 35 miles per hour limit takes effect at the location of the 35 miles per hour sign, not at the reduced speed ahead warning sign. The warning sign gives you advance notice to begin slowing. The actual limit change happens when you reach and pass the regulatory speed limit sign. Question 25. You are driving, and a train is approaching a crossing, but the signals are not working. You should A. Honk your horn to alert the train engineer. B. Proceed since the crossing signals are the railroad's responsibility. C. Stop, look, and listen for trains, then cross when it is clear. D. Cross quickly to beat the train if you are closer to the crossing. The correct answer is C. Stop, look, and listen for trains, then cross when it is clear. A non-functioning signal does not mean no train is coming. Stop, look carefully in both directions, listen for approaching trains, and cross only when you are certain no train is approaching. Trains travel at high speeds and cannot stop quickly. Never try to beat a train.
Question 26. Your vehicle loses power on a highway at night. The safest immediate action is A. Coast to the right shoulder, activate hazard lights, and stay in the vehicle away from traffic. B. Stop in the median if you cannot reach the shoulder. C. Stand outside the vehicle to flag down help. D. Stop in your lane and turn on hazard lights. The correct answer is A. Coast to the right shoulder, activate hazard lights, and stay in the vehicle away from traffic. Coast to the right shoulder, using remaining momentum. Activate hazard lights and, if possible, place reflective triangles or flares behind the vehicle. Stay in the vehicle or well away from traffic. Standing on or near a highway at night is extremely dangerous. Call for roadside assistance. Question 27. What should you do immediately if your vehicle begins to roll over? A. Open the door and prepare to jump out. B. Brace yourself firmly against the seat. Hold the steering wheel and keep your feet off the pedals. C. Accelerate to right the vehicle before it tips too far. D. Steer sharply to counteract the roll. The correct answer is B. Brace yourself firmly against the seat, hold the steering wheel, and keep your feet off the pedals. In a rollover brace, firmly against the seat back, hold the steering wheel, and keep feet off the pedals. The seat belt is your most critical protection. It keeps you in position in the vehicle. Modern vehicles have reinforced roofs and side curtain airbags designed to protect occupants through a rollover. Question 28. What does a do not enter sign mean? A. The road is for emergency vehicles only. B. Entry is prohibited only for commercial vehicles. C. The road ahead is temporarily closed for construction. D. You may not enter this road from this direction. The correct answer is D. You may not enter this road from this direction. A do not enter sign, white square with red background and white horizontal bar, means you must not enter the road or lane from this direction. It is commonly placed at exit ramps, where entering would mean driving the wrong way. Question 29. Does having a green light mean you are legally protected if you enter an intersection and cause a crash? A. Yes. Fault automatically falls on other drivers when you have a green light. B. No. But liability is always shared equally in green light crashes. C. Yes. Green gives absolute right-of-way with no further duty to look. D. No. You still have a duty to drive with due care, even with a green light. The correct answer is D. No. You still have a duty to drive with due care, even with a green light. A green light does not absolve you of the duty to drive with reasonable care. If you enter an intersection on a green light without scanning for cross traffic and cause a crash, you may still be found partially or fully at fault. Always exercise due care, regardless of which color the signal shows. Question 30. You're driving and suddenly realize you are going the wrong way on a one-way street. You should. A. Stop immediately, turn on hazard lights, and reverse carefully to the correct direction. B. Drive on the extreme right edge slowly to the nearest intersection. C. Reverse out of the street quickly. D. Continue to the next block and turn around. The correct answer is A. Stop immediately. Turn on hazard lights and reverse carefully to the correct direction. If you realize you are going the wrong way, stop immediately, turn on hazard lights, and reverse carefully back to the correct direction or the nearest intersection where you can safely turn around. Drive slowly and watch for traffic. Never continue driving the wrong way. The risk of a head-on collision is extreme. Question 31. What is the minimum liability coverage required by most states for bodily injury per accident? A. $25,000 per accident nationwide. B. $50,000 per accident nationwide. C. It varies. Check your state's specific requirements. D. $10,000 per accident nationwide. The correct answer is C. It varies. Check your state's specific requirements. Minimum liability coverage requirements vary significantly by state. Some states require as little as $10,000 per person in bodily injury liability, while others require $25,000 or more. Always check your state's specific minimum requirements and consider carrying more than the minimum, since minimums are often insufficient for serious crashes. Question 32. According to the AMVA manual, when is a left turn permitted at a red light? A. When no cross traffic is present regardless of road type. B. Only with a flashing yellow arrow signal. C. Never. Red lights prohibit all movement, including turns. D. When turning from a one-way street onto a one-way street after stopping and yielding. The correct answer is D. When turning from a one-way street onto a one-way street after stopping and yielding. The AMVA manual states that in most states, a left turn on red is permitted when turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street after coming to a complete stop and yielding to all other traffic and pedestrians. Check for no turn on red signs and your state's specific law. Question 33. What is the legal definition of reckless driving? A. Any speed exceeding 15 miles per hour over the posted limit. B. Operating a vehicle with willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. C. Any moving violation that results in a crash. D. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The correct answer is B. Operating a vehicle with willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Reckless driving is typically defined as operating a vehicle with willful or wanton disregard for the safety of others or property. It is a criminal offense, not just a traffic infraction, in most states. Examples include excessive speeding street racing, aggressive weaving through traffic, and deliberately threatening other drivers. Question 34. What does it mean to heel and toe brake in a performance driving context? A. Braking with the left foot while accelerating with the right. B. A technique used only in emergency braking situations. C. Using the heel and toe simultaneously on the brake and accelerator pedals for smooth downshifting. D. Alternating between heel pressure and toe pressure on the brake pedal. The correct answer is C. Using the heel and toe simultaneously on the brake and accelerator pedals for smooth downshifting. Heel and toe is an advanced driving technique where the driver simultaneously applies the brake with the ball of the foot while blipping the throttle with the heel to match revs during a downshift. This allows smooth trail, braking into corners without drivetrain shock. It is used in performance and track driving, not everyday driving. Question 35. If you are driving and your vision suddenly blurs severely, you should A. Flash your hazard lights and maintain speed. B. Ask a passenger to guide you to the nearest exit. C. Pull over immediately. Impaired vision makes continued driving extremely dangerous. D. Slow down and continue driving with extreme caution. The correct answer is C. Pull over immediately. Impaired vision makes continued driving extremely dangerous. Sudden severe vision impairment while driving requires immediately pulling over. Continued driving while unable to see properly endangers you and everyone around you. This may indicate a medical emergency. Call 911 after stopping safely.
Never attempt to continue driving with severely impaired vision. Question 36. If your gas pedal sticks and shifting to neutral does not disengage the engine, you should A. Turn the ignition to the off position, not the locked position, while steering safely to a stop. B. Apply the parking brake immediately at full force. C. Open the door and use it as a brake against the road. D. Let the engine rev until it overheats and stalls. The correct answer is A. Turn the ignition to the off position, not the locked position, while steering safely to a stop. If the throttle is stuck and the clutch or neutral does not solve it, turn the ignition to the off position, not lock, which removes power steering, while continuing to steer and brake normally. This cuts engine power while preserving braking and steering. Pull safely to the shoulder. Question 37. You are at a green light and an ambulance is approaching with lights and siren. You should A. Stop immediately in the intersection. B. Clear the intersection, then pull to the right and stop. C. Ignore it since you have a green light. D. Proceed through the intersection quickly, then pull over. The correct answer is B. Clear the intersection, then pull to the right and stop. When an emergency vehicle approaches, never stop in the intersection. This blocks the emergency vehicle. Instead, clear the intersection, then pull to the right and stop until the emergency vehicle passes. Stopping in an intersection forces the emergency vehicle to maneuver around you. Question 38. The AAMVIA manual describes the correct response to a tire blowout as A. Swerve immediately to the left to avoid the disabled tire side. B. Apply the parking brake to slow evenly without using the main brakes. C. Brake firmly and immediately to stop as fast as possible. D. Grip the steering wheel firmly, ease off the gas, and steer straight to the shoulder. The correct answer is D. Grip the steering wheel, firmly ease off the gas, and steer straight to the shoulder. The AMVA manual states that in a tire blowout, you should grip the steering wheel firmly, ease off the gas, and steer to the side of the road. Braking immediately can cause loss of control. Let the vehicle slow gradually before gently applying the brakes and pulling off the road. Question 39. What is a DUI checkpoint, and are they legal? A. They are legal only if every third vehicle is stopped, not all vehicles. B. They are not legal. Police must have individual suspicion before stopping a driver. C. They are legal in most states. Police may briefly stop all vehicles to check for impairment. D. They are only legal on federal highways, not state roads. The correct answer is C. They are legal in most states. Police may briefly stop all vehicles to check for impairment. UI checkpoints, also called sobriety checkpoints, have been upheld as constitutional by the Supreme Court in most states. Police may briefly stop all vehicles to check for signs of impairment. However, 12 states prohibit checkpoints based on their own state constitutions. Drivers must comply with a lawful checkpoint stop. Question 40. If your vehicle catches fire while you are driving, you should A. Drive to a fire station as quickly as possible. B. Pull over, turn off the engine, get out, and move away from the vehicle. C. Pour water from your water bottle on the fire source. D. Open the hood to access the fire extinguisher under the hood. The correct answer is B. Pull over, turn off the engine, get out, and move away from the vehicle. If you notice fire smoke or burning smell, pull over immediately, turn off the engine, and get everyone out of the vehicle. Move at least 100 feet away. Vehicle fires can cause fuel tanks to explode. Call 911. Never try to retrieve belongings from a burning vehicle.
Thanks for watching. Check out our videos or try our interactive quizzes and downloadable cheat sheets for more practice. Good luck!